Sounds like a forest in here. Is that a creek? Oh, I'm silly. Good morning. It is coffee time, creative coffee. Or at least that's what we're calling it. So basically, I just sit on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and I drink coffee and talk to whoever shows up. And I'm getting lost in the little creek here. Let me show you. I've got a little. This is This is what I'm looking at on my main screen. I've got today's deal on the bottom screen, but that's kind of what I'm looking straight at, and gotta be careful not to get lost in it. So let's see, do we get that back? There we go. Make sure that my head got a little trap door on this thing. Pretty cool. Prepared for anything. Got the French press all made up. And happy little mushroom. This is this picture I took in Seattle on my Seattle trip. So let me finish cleaning some of this up. But it feels good to be back. I'm slowly feeling like I'm getting a better control of these streaming sessions. Okay, and then we're also going live on on all Facebook, my Twitch channel, and my YouTube channel. So I'm going live in 3 places right now. So we'll see where it goes. You know, like I said, every week I try to add one little tiny improvement that will make this streaming process better. Some of it you will notice, some of it you won't notice. I'm also trying to be more happy in the morning, so I'm making sure that I get up in time to be awake. So and not like looking like I'm just like ready to go fall back into the bed. Um, I don't know. Are the birds too loud? So, um, for the time being, I'm not going to be playing music in the background. I think I might have broken a copyright rule on my last one for some reason, but I don't know if it was a scam or if it was Facebook telling me because like it's weird because you'll get these messages with links to and they look like they're official from Facebook, and you get them after you finish streaming. And hey, Clayton. All right, thanks, man. Let's get those birds under control. That should be better. That should be better. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a really good monitor that I'm streaming to 3 different locations, and one of the improvements that I need to put in place is an efficient monitor, because each of the places, like I'm streaming through Twitch, I'm streaming through Facebook, and I'm streaming through YouTube, and all of them have different, like I call them time dilations. You know, where I'm recording it and then when it's being broadcast live out there. So, let me know if that's better. Let me know if the birds are under control. But the reason why I'm going with the birds and stuff is I think I got sort of nabbed for copyright, but I don't know if it was either Facebook or a hoax. Either way, I did see a sort of it felt like a throttling of traffic to my Facebook page, so I don't know, but it did look like a scam. So I didn't click the link, so I don't really know. Awesome. Yeah, so like if I have a link, if somebody sends me a link or I get a link in any one of my messages, like message areas, I do not click it. And if I do click it, I usually click it on the phone because the phone tend to have better security than my computer does. But I never ever click a unknown link. I've learned that lesson way too much. So, but so like I said, every week I'm trying to add something a little bit better. Clayton, how are you doing, man? How's the furniture business going? How is furniture design and all of the wonderful carpentry stuff? I really wish I had time to build more things. My design work takes up most of my time, and I don't. I get to play in my own way, but then I don't get to play in other ways that I like to play. So I like working with wood. I'm not so good with metal. Where's the new shop? I wish there was a way that people could share images on this thing. We will. We will collaborate on a piece. Um, I know I've got a few pieces I need. Um, I just have to figure out which one to do first. Man, no, it's the best thing to do is to have your shop near where you live and the ability to go and work in your own time. You know, I think that's awesome. Um, I mean, I my studio's one of my bedrooms, so um, I actually put myself in the smallest bedroom so that my studio could be bigger. Shows you where my priorities are these days. Um, I mean, heck, my bedroom is for sleeping and keeping my clothes and stuff. So I I don't know. Being in creative, I'm sure like you get into those little creative flows, and being in your own space where you can be, because like for me sometimes there's like a sense of vulnerability in that you let your defenses down because you're letting the creative stuff coming in, and it's just being on your own grounds in your own sanctuary is just like I feel like I can go deeper in my work because I can be more vulnerable and I can like be open up to the ideas a little bit more. Um, I don't know if that makes sense. No, definitely post a picture of your shop. Um, yeah, it would be great is if you're on Facebook, just put it into the Facebook comments on this video. I think I'll ultimately see it. I just can't see it right now. Because like the way that I got the chat room, like everybody that comments on Facebook and everybody that comments on Twitch and everybody that comments on YouTube, it all gets sent to a single read only output that I get. So basically, you can be on three of my whatever channel of mine you're on, YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. You can be there and type, and then I just have to answer you through the video. So, but like I can't be creative in a cubicle or an office, or I need to be able to have the space to be able to, if you want the best of me, that's the type of space I need to be in. A space where I don't have to be on the defense. Like I don't have to have walls up, you know, um, to keep people out or tune people out. And it gets hard. It gets exhausting. And then after that, you got to drive home, and sitting through traffic. kind of processing everything that you just went through. It's just not the ideal space for a creative person. And, it's, I like being able to come into the studio at 3 in the morning. I like being able to take a nap in the afternoon. I like to be in my studio relaxing at 7 a.m. in the morning. I don't necessarily need to feel like need to start until about 9 or 10. So it's just, there's a lot of people that feel like they can get up at 9 o'clock, go sit through traffic, and be sitting at their desk by 9:30 a.m. And I don't want to ever be one of those people. I need to gradually ease into my day, and for me to be the most productive, that's the way I need to come into the space. So, whee, it's a mushroom. This is a picture that I took on my trip to Seattle. I drove from Atlanta to Seattle over 3 weeks and came back, and I forgot which park this was in, but it's in the park. This where I took the picture of this mushroom. It was in the park where the Asian Art Museum is, where the sculpture Black Hole Sun, which the song is supposedly written about or an ode to. Um, and if you look through the Black Hole Sun, you see the Space Needle in Seattle. So, but anyway, just there was this mushroom, and it was big. This mushroom in this picture was like that big around. I don't know if you can see that. It's like it like was wrapping around my whole head, and I just got this great shot of it, and so now I'm using it in this, and what you see here is I'm not sure if you've been watching any of the other videos I've been doing this year on the weekends, but I've I'm kind of practicing for working on a graphic novel starting this fall into the winter, and starting it through the winter. It's going to take about 3 years to do. But this is an exercise I created this year where I'm doing this sort of comic strip that is somewhat autobiographical in a place that I can kind of exhibit my photography, and I'm sort of using Photoshop to enhance it, and then doing digital painting over it, and then putting a caption on it, and doing those on the weekend. Just like little exercises because they're helping me practice composition in a graphic novel format almost. Just how to compose the frame, how to work with the perspective, um, what kind of technique do I want to use. So, I'm not sure if you do this in carpentry, but if you have like a vision for a piece of furniture that you know is going to challenge you, so you break it down into little areas that you know that you need to improve with yourself, and you create smaller projects to kind of sharpen the tools and the mental tools, and slowly work towards the bigger project. As an artist painter, that's one of the things that I do. If like I have this big graphic novel idea that I want to do, um, that's a huge endeavor. So like I broke it down into these little other side sort of series projects that I can use and I can explore that help prepare me for that bigger project. So, but that's part of the process. It's always a process. I almost feel like that's my name, process. Process. Process is a form of process. Whoops. Get a little bit tighter on that. So, mostly what I do on Saturday and Sundays is drink coffee, talk about whatever with whomever that shows up, and work on this piece. I give it maybe 2 to 3 hours, and then I move on from it. Just and it's because the thing that I need to learn how to do, because I'm going to have to do God knows how many frames for the graphic novels, hundreds. There needs to be a sense of consistency across the artwork, across the entire novel, and it needs to look solid, and there's so much work. Yeah, I kind of think I like the bird, animal, river, creek sounds in the background more than the music. Um, don't have to really worry about copyright infringements too much. I mean, it could be the background in which I am in, and for all they care. I watch a lot of rain on YouTube. I've realized that I have a lot of like when I'm working, I like either having like the sound of water flowing around me, and a lot of times I'll just like I've got a big monitor right in front of me, and then another monitor down here, which is the touchscreen, which I do the drafting and drawing on. So it's like I've got this. I'm looking out the window at a creek, because it's like high resolution, so it looks so real. So it's you know tricks I've learned in the pandemic. Do it. Definitely. It's I learned with the card game that I did that you gotta create a process for the production. You gotta create a production line. It's another aspect of creation is production. There's process, there's practice, there's professionalism, there's production, all the things that make you a pro. Let's say did practice, process, production, professionalism. And there was one more. There's one more. I can't remember it. Process, practice, production, professionalism. I've given up trying to remember everything, so I try to create little games to help. So I created 5 steps that kind of rhymed with my name. I can't. I can. There's a fifth one, and it's different every time. It's not like I forget the same one. It's just I don't know. So basically, I just take photographs that I take, and some of them are also professionals that people have taken of me, and I run it through a filter in Photoshop, and then I digitally paint on top of it. This is basically just digitally painting, and I'm using a stylus and kind of drawing straight on the screen. My God, if I had this tool in high school, if I had this computer in high school, like I would be so further ahead with all of my work. I have so much to do, and it's all my own things. It's just I have so many projects that I want to do before I leave this world. Here we go. Happy little mushrooms. I don't know if you've seen the preview for Owen Wilson is going to be Bob Ross in a biopic, and that's going to be interesting. I'm interested to watch that one. Yeah. The hard part is it doesn't stop. It just keeps going, and meditation helps. I try not to medicate, but meditation is really what works the best because um, I mean stuff like caffeine and shit. Just I know this whole show is based on coffee, but I mean it's my drug of choice is the caffeine. But every drug lies because it's not really keeping me awake. It's just lying to me, making me think that I'm awake because it's just inhibiting the little things in my head that make me think that I'm tired. But I know that I'm tired, and the more coffee that I drink, the more tired that I get. It's like quicksand. I try to at least document as much as I can with the ideas because you know the hard part is you have a great idea and then the next day you forgot it, or you pick up a guitar and you play a song and this great song just channels out of you in the moment, and then the next day you forget it. So I try to record things. It's another reason why I'm doing this streaming thing is I'm trying to get better at recording things so that at least I have these ideas, or these ideas can get captured onto video, and I keep it. I mean, I've got about 3 terabytes, and that's terabytes of digital creation information, like files that have my architecture, my models, my animation, my illustrations, photographs of my artwork, my photography, architectural designs, just 3 terabytes of stuff now, and I feel like I'm just starting to accelerate. I just bought a 16 terabyte hard drive, which will be a cloud storage, which all my devices will be able to access through the internet. And then once I get I'm getting Starlink for my van, so that I'll have satellite internet wherever I go. Um, yeah, I go to New I do I'm doing a New England trip in a week. Well, actually 4 days, hopefully. And then I'm going to Colorado for my birthday in April, for the second half of April. All right, let's get rid of these words. And I think I'm going to put this down. All right. That's going to be the message for today. Be happy. That's the message for today. Be happy. I'm going to keep it simple for everybody today. There we go. That's the way. Uh huh. I like it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. That's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing. I used. I luckily had the pandemic to help me up my techno game. That's when I got into the digital painting. I mostly got into the digital painting to do the artwork for Arcane Arena, the board game that I helped design. I did the artwork for it, and um, also used it to because I do you know architectural design on the computer, and I finally had the capital to invest in a really good computer that I feel like doesn't like I hate computers that lag, and I process so much information that I've never had a computer that doesn't lag. And then I finally got this one computer with the RTX 3090 in it. The 4090s are out now, but the 3090 is still doing wonders for me. Um, so I got the most powerful computer I can afford in the moment. It was like $4,000, but it was sweet. Then I had an issue and I had to take it in, and I was worried that the graphics driver was going to die on me. And luckily, it was just a firmware issue. So I had set aside about $1,800 to fix the computer because a new graphics card was going to cost me about $1,800. And I ended up using the money to get 128 gigabytes of RAM put into the memory on the computer, and it's now like lightning speed. And I have no like like practically no lag because when I'm doing the architectural drafting, there's always it's just a fraction of a second, but it's just a fraction of a second where the computer just delays to process the command, and I have to sit there and just wait for that just it moment splits like microsecond of time, but I still feel it, and it's just like walking with wet shorts. And now I don't have the wet shorts, and I the computer can keep up with me, and it has helped a lot. Um, Especially with digital painting. Like once I got into digital painting, drawing on the screen, there's a lag between your brushstroke and then what's painting if you have a slow computer, and just having the memory now is just it was worth every penny that I paid for it. I mean, get the best computers and equipment that you can afford. Because like I'm tired. I got tired of getting a computer and it was already behind the times in a month. Oops. Because like this, like you see me zooming in, rotating, doing all this stuff. I'm just doing it with my fingers, like you do on the phone on on the touch screen. So let me see if I can give you a quick tour. Like this is the screen that I'm drawing on, and I basically just draw straight on the screen. And it's made all the difference in the world. You know, it's like I always wanted to get into digital artwork and digital painting, but the tools were never there where like I felt like I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I mean, it's hard to draw with a mouse, and it's also hard to draw on a pad that's off to the side of the computer. You know, being able to draw straight onto the screen, you know, with like 8,000 points of pressure, and like when I draw on the screen, the thickness of the line depends on how much pressure I'm putting on the screen. And in some of the brushes, even the angle of the stylus will affect the way that the line work comes out. So it's just life. It's really was life changing getting into the digital realm, and not to replace it. I mean, that's the thing is, like now that I'm do digital painting, people ask me if, you know, am I going to give up on oil painting? No, I'm making it work. You know, like another thing that I can do is I can take this image. I've got a large format printer. I can just print it out and then print it out on the canvas, and then I can paint oil paint on it. Then I can take another photograph of it, bring it back into the computer, edit it, format it, do another layer of digital painting, and then I can just keep the process going. So I've got certain projects I'm working on that is trying to blend the traveling with the photography, with the digital painting and the oil painting. I want that to cast a shadow. That needs to cast a shadow. There we go. That's better. That's gonna help that. I'm and kind of what I do here on Saturday and Sunday mornings is just what I fell in love with watching during the pandemic. During the pandemic, I found Twitch, and it's really weird with Twitch because there's two different worlds in Twitch. There's the gaming side of Twitch, and then there's the creative side of Twitch, because it originally started as just gamers wanting to be able to stream their games on the internet and teach each other and watch. But then artists kind of took it, found it, and used it to stream themselves from their studio doing their work. And during the pandemic, I basically would get up in the morning and I would just watch artists on Twitch. And, you know, I would get excited and inspired to get into my day. And so, like, while I'm working, I'm watching somebody else and hanging out with them in their studio. But I wouldn't want to do it as like a everyday profession. Like doing this once on the weekend is good. And I'm just practicing with this. You know, it's not like I draw hundreds and hundreds of people to watch. The thing with the techno game, though, is it's a big, deep rabbit hole. Like, you can get overwhelmed with it if because there's just so many advances happening right now. There are so many good tools out there and so many different ways to explore um, what the computer can do in assisting you in your creative process. I think we had a discussion about this a few weeks ago about AI, and you know I'm kind of torn with the whole AI thing because I want a creative AI assistant that would help me with my work. And I know areas where that I feel like an AI could be of great assistance to me. And it's just it's like I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's good or not. It's a good safety precaution. Have everybody overreact in the beginning with a new technology that comes online so that it at least makes sure that like the things that need to be talked about are talked about. But there's also an edge where it goes too far and it becomes like insane. It gets into a level of insanity. Then all of the false narratives get written, and one bad thing happens, and then everybody loses their shit. You know, it's like, hey, wow, we're in a crisis. Life is about crisis management. Oops. Sometimes I forget what layer I'm on. It's like forgetting which universe you're in. Different layers of reality all folded on top of each other. Some you can turn off, some you can't. Some are defaults, and you can't delete them. Yeah, Photoshop has thousands and thousands of tools that you can use, and I use like 4 or 5 of them. And I use like one brush. I think one of the mistakes a lot of people make is that you need to have all of these different types of tools to be able to do all of these different types of things. Whereas you can make one tool do everything that you need it to do. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, good. But we will go until 9:30, and then I'll call it a moment. I'm gonna try to do 2 of these this weekend, so I'm gonna finish this one. This one's almost done. A good hour into this after the stream, and I'll be able to publish this. I mean, it's almost all ready to go. If I had to put it out there right now, I would say this is good to go. But there's still places to explore. Clayton, thank you for joining me today. I don't know if you're still there or not, but it's a nice surprise seeing you. And that's the thing, like with my photography, it's like I've on my traveling, I've gotten into doing sort of landscape photography or just natural photography. And I just feel like I've not really had a place that I can use it, an outlet for it. And that's what this is turning out to be. And it's a nice addition to the process. Let me know when your studio is good to go. I'd love to come check out your studio and see how it see some of the work you're going working on. Awesome. Which part of town do you live in? You live up in Marietta, right? I think you said Marietta. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Marietta. I'm working on the memory thing, you know? Oh God, it gets my memory gets me into trouble so much. Especially like I know we've met, but I can't remember your name from like 5 minutes ago. I have to tell say a person's name like 3 times, like out loud. Like I need, it's like I need to go like Robert, Robert, Robert. Sounded like Kermit the Frog there for a second. And I'm always apologizing. Like I'm so like the worst is when like somebody you've known for 10 years and you've gone on adventures with, and you're sitting there, and then you have to introduce them to a new person, and their name just totally slips your mind. Oh my God, I've been in that situation. That's awful. I feel so bad. That too, trying to look them in the eyes, like look right at them and saying their names. That helps. Creepy, but it helps. Every person you meet, you stare at them in their eyes and you say their name 3 times. Creepy. Yeah, that Keith, he's a creepy dude. Yeah, have you seen the van he drives around in? Free candy. And no, this is calling Beetlejuice into play. Soften up. Now it's got to soften up some of these hard edges. The trick is to blur the edges. To blur the edges. It's the secret to getting depth in a picture. You blur the edges. And you just blend one edge into the other edge. Texture and everything. Like this. Oh, here you go. You can go all the way down to the little pixels. It helps softening the edges. There we go. It makes it look more natural. Yeah, I really want these little sort of sticks that are sort of winding their way down from the mushroom. They're not from the mushroom. They're actually kind of climbing up the root of the tree. There's a little root of the tree behind the mushroom. This mushroom's like up against the little tree, and little vines are creeping up around it. So I want to bring out the contrast on those a little bit more. You know, kind of that there's that flow, that line of energy coming up at an angle in the piece. Squishies. Artwork is kind of like casting a spell, though. Sometimes, also, everything. I mean, everything can be. You know, there's power in everything. All matters on the intention that you use behind it. And how well you anchor it down. Most of the time it just blows away. Christina, good morning. Happy to see you. We're just talking to this happy little mushroom today. So I'm gonna try to do two this weekend because this one's pretty much done. I'm just gonna put another hour in it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get this up there. And then I've got another one that I want to do for tomorrow. So it's, and I'm happy to see you too. It's good to kind of be back. I feel like I went into a hole for about 3 weeks. You know, just everything felt so slow and grindy and um, just blah. All right, Clayton. I'll talk to you later. Good to see you, man. But I'm feeling a little bit back into it. I really have missed doing these. I have to find a better way to do it on the road. The hard part I've found doing it on the road is I'm usually in a place where there's people sleeping around me, so I can't really talk at 8:30 in the morning. Unless I'm with my by myself, which there'll be times when I am. But just like at Loveburn, I couldn't. Like everybody was sleeping in all of the tents around me, and the last thing I want to do is kind of wake them up doing this. Um, and yeah, that just probably wouldn't go over well. So what have you been up to, Christina? I know Kristen's supposed to stop in at some time. Yeah, it's just I think it depends on just the weather where she's at. She usually likes to go on a good bike ride in the morning if the weather's nice, or a run. I am lucky because the exercise that I like to do allows me to be inside. This is my exercise. Spin, baby. It's coming through here. I am heading out to Colorado middle of April, and I'm doing a New England run next week. So next week might be another week that is hard for me to do this. Um, I need to figure out how to do it while I'm traveling better. I also need to make sure I need to get the. I'm just gonna break down and get it Starlink, even though I don't know. Sometimes you gotta play with the devil. Happy little mushroom. Yeah, I'm going up to Massachusetts, and I'm picking up all a bunch of arcane, like about 120 or so arcane arena games, and meet with my business partner Chris, and kind of put our game plan together for the year. I mean, we're mostly just, taking a break from doing stuff for the game. Because like we spent 3 years getting it out, and we're finally at the end zone. Like we finally are done with the first wave of it, and just kind of let it get out there and start growing on its own. I need to get the website ready so we can start selling the games through the website. So that's my focus. But so many things. But yeah, I am looking forward to going out to Colorado for my birthday. That'll be in April. But yeah, oh, also the other thing, Christina, is I this is being streamed down on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube this week. So I'm hoping on YouTube it's going to be just it will be recording it and it will leave it there. I'm hoping that it will leave it there. Um, I'm sure I can just make sure that the setting is set for next time. But I, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to probably take the videos for all of these and I'm gonna start putting them up on my Patreon page. Because some I've actually got people that are starting to give me monthly stipend, like monthly patronage. So I'm uh I'm gonna start posting these there, and I'm still kind of going with the improving something every week. Sometimes you'll be able to notice it, sometimes you won't. Um, I'm not going to be having music anymore. I'm going to have like these bird sounds because copyright issues. And I don't know, I like the nature sounds better. So, and, but, I'm sad to have to go. It is 9:30 and I need to go get a COVID test cuz I've been exposed to COVID. So I need to go get a COVID test and hopefully I'm okay. I mean, I feel tired and exhausted, but I'm always feel tired and exhausted, so and then I can't tell any symptoms that I seem to be having seem to be hallucinogenic. Like I'm making them up. It's like, oh my god, am I sick? Am I sick? I will be back tomorrow. And then I'm hoping that I'm okay because like tomorrow's our last soul dance at the Sycamore Chapel for the winter. And I don't want to miss that. I'd be really sad if I miss that tomorrow. So I got to go get this test taken. So anyhow, I'm glad I got to see you. It was good to see you, Christina. I'm sorry Kristen didn't show up, but hopefully she'll show up tomorrow. I'm sure she'll send me a little text in a little bit about it. So anyhow, have a beautiful day and enjoy your weekend. And I will see you tomorrow. I'll probably post this mushroom a little bit